It's my day to buy donuts for the entire office as the new person? Well, okay. As the new person at my job, I was told multiple times that I was expected to provide donuts for the entire office. Normally, that's not a big deal, but two people in particular were rude and relentless about the donuts all week. Others joined in also. Apparently, these people recently extorted 2 boxes of Krispy Kreme from someone else. Here's the problem. I was hired as a senior, 30 years old, and I was not necessarily loving the idea of being told to buy donuts. Hazing really did not seem appropriate at this point in my career. I didn't want to be a bad sport my first week, so I played along. In terms of the workforce, I was mature, but I was not a very mature person overall. I needed a creative way to address this problem. On my way to work, I decided to pick up a cheap bag of powdered Hostess donuts at the gas station. I distributed the donuts one by one, desk by desk, making sure to do so barehanded from the bag. I presented the donuts extremely politely, careful to mask my passive-aggressive FU to the whole forced donut process. The reaction from the staff was a lot of the deer in headlights looks. People had no idea if I was a really nice but clueless person, or if I was totally saying FU to the entire donut idea. Most people took the safe choice of being pleasant in return. Some people tried to refuse, but I mentioned the big deal about buying donuts and still left a donut on every desk. I had originally considered providing a donut to everyone except the last 2 idiotic pushy people. I started verbally setting it up where they would not receive a donut. However, these 2 idiots were still openly verbally complaining about donuts as adults. I could tell that this was not going to go away. They could not take a hint to back off. My idea to passive-aggressively snub them was no longer good enough. This had to be more direct. I decided I was 100% done with these guys, regardless of the consequences. I told them I had another idea. I grabbed a plastic knife from the break room and cut the remaining donut in half the long way, so I still had 2 circles. The yellow cake was now visible. Then, the most brilliant idea of my life. A new way to hold donuts. 1 donut on each finger, with my middle finger in the center hole of each donut. I stopped at both desks. The first guy had his choice of 2 half donuts on my middle fingers. That's right, I was able to give him a double donut middle finger. He now understood that I was completely done with his BS, but he never grabbed a donut. I explained the donuts are actually quite tasty and urged him to take one, but I'm sure I looked like a complete psycho. I was no longer able to stay in character. The good news. His refusal to take a donut from my middle fingers also allowed the opportunity to provide the last guy a double donut middle finger. I mildly snapped and had a crappy fake grin on my face. I looked him right in the eyes, double donut middle fingers up, no longer saying a word. The reaction of that last person is best described as completely frightened. That's right, I reached a complete breaking point over donuts and scared the heck out of someone. Anyway, after this incident, I was never asked to buy donuts again.